Are you a first responder, a veteran, a doctor, a nurse, a teacher, or a Let's Go Blues radio listener? Of course you are. If you're in the market to buy or sell a home, call real estate superstar Mike Burgoyne today at 314-753-4060 or email him at mike@strikewithmike.com to earn special rates today.
A proven winner on the hockey rink, Joe Wolf knows what it takes to be the best. That's why he has the best rates in the area and only has rave reviews of his work with Wolf Power Washing. Get that siding back to its original color with Joe. Call him at 314-420-5434. That's 314-420-5434. This is Let's Go Blues Radio, and it is officially the summer. Hopefully all your pools are open because it's time, folks. Get away from the cicadas, though. Those things are annoying as hell. I'm your host, Jeff Ponder, and I'm bringing you episode 33 of Season 13. This is franchise episode number 464 all time. Support for Let's Go Blues Radio is brought to you in part by Mike Burgoyne of Real Brokerage Realty. Contact Mike at mike@strikewithmike.com or call him at 314-753-4060 and get started selling your current home or buying a new home today. And by Wolf Power Washing. If you're in the St. Louis area and need the services of a professional power washer, Joe Wolf is your guy. Call him at 314-420-5434 and get the best prices in the area. On today's show, I'll be talking with Coach Jeremy Rupke of HowToHockey and HowToHockey.com, a video series dedicated mostly to helping coach the youth virtually while also providing other hockey content, including product reviews, challenges, and comedy. All that and more in this interview with Jeremy. Coach Jeremy, if you follow him on social media, if you've seen anything from How To Hockey, you see that he knows his stuff about hockey. Not just, the coaching aspect of it, but follows along with the NHL very closely. And like I said, even has some good NHL-related content, like some comedic stuff in there that it's fun to watch. So check out their YouTube channel as well as howtohockey.com. But we will get to more into talking with Coach Jeremy in a minute. First of all, we got a couple announcements that I want to make for the show this week. First of all, I failed to mention this last week, but the Stanley Ponder Cup Memorial Tournament player signups have officially begun. If you're wondering where and when and what this is, it is the annual tournament that we run in my father's name. Passed away from leukemia in 2015. We keep the tournament going to benefit any kind of leukemia warriors we can, as well as it's not Be the Match anymore. They've changed their name, and it's escaping me what it's called now. But I still record these like I'm live. So I'm going to look it up, and I will tell you in the outro about what Be the Match is now. But that's who we used to benefit, as well as the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society of St. Louis. But this year, we are benefiting Evelyn Parks, daughter of a friend of mine and somebody that a lot of the St. Louis area hockey players may know. His name's Jake Parks. She was unfortunately diagnosed with leukemia in late 2023, so she's still in her battle, and she's winning her battle valiantly. But yes, this tournament benefits Miss Evelyn Parks, 12-year-old. Actually, happy birthday today, May 29th. Happy 12th birthday, Evelyn, if you're watching, which you're probably not, but I'll say it anyway. So date and time for this tournament is November 23rd, 2024. It is starts at 11, and it goes pretty much all day. It's at Midwest Sport Hockey in Baldwin, which, yes, means it is a roller hockey tournament. Tournament player fee is $60 a person, but that also includes a jersey that you'll get to keep, as well as, obviously the money going towards a great cause and helping Evelyn in her battle. So, again, it's a individual sign-up. We have captains that draft teams, and you just play with a bunch of guys, and maybe maybe you don't. I say guys, it's open to everybody. We've had women play, and it's just a blast. It's just a fun all-day tournament. Also, circle it on your calendar, even if you don't play hockey, because we have a bunch of awesome raffle items that we give away. We typically get a couple authentic jerseys. We get Blues tickets, Cardinal tickets, all kinds of random, like Joe Wolf, usually a friend of the show and sponsor of the show, gives away like a free power washing. There's a bunch of random stuff that we get every year. So it's worth at least coming and checking out just for that fact. But again, it is November 23rd, 2024 at 11 o'clock. That is the Saturday before Thanksgiving. Midwest Sport Hockey in Baldwin, and it's all to benefit the birthday girl, Evelyn Parks. So make sure you check this out. And again, remember that date. More information, go to dropinstl.com. There's a link right there for clicking on the Stanley Ponder Cup Memorial Tournament information, but there's also in the navigation, you'll see something that says SPMCT Tournament. Just click that. And it'll take you all the information you need. It's how you sign up. Check all that out. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. I'm always happy to help out too. I also wanted to shout out Jerry at Picture Framing STL. They can be found at 13010 Manchester Road in De Pere. They are near 270, right across from the Red Robin. The reason I'm calling them out, and if you're watching the video, you're seeing some pictures right now of a frame in my son's room. It's a jersey from a tournament we actually played in at Midwest recently. STL Youth Sports Outreach. We wanted to draw some awareness to them. So we had jerseys, every team. We had 6 teams in the tournament. We all wore different iterations of the jersey, but with the same logo. So this was obviously, you can see it. It also brings awareness to autism in this as well. So I wanted to get a cool jersey from that. And obviously I played for the orange team, but I wanted the blue jersey because blue and yellow are the Down syndrome ribbon colors. And for those who don't know, my son has autism and Down syndrome. So I thought, man, I want to get my hands on the blue jersey. Luckily, friend of the show, former sponsor of the show, Dustin Paul, was very cool and gave me his jersey. Didn't even make me pay him for it, and just let me have it. So I thought this would be a really cool thing to frame and put the effort into getting it looking nice. So actually, as I was driving home from one of my games at Midwest, I saw this place. It's on the right as you're heading towards 270 if you're coming from westbound. So heading eastbound. I saw it. They're on the right. Brand new place. Picture Framing STL. I thought I'll pop in there, see what they do. They had a pretty good rate, and he did an excellent job, as you saw in those pictures. So I wanted to shout out Jerry one more time. Thank you to Jerry for all the work you put into this. Looks beautiful. My son loves it, as you saw in the pictures. Again, thank you. If you're interested in getting anything framed, including sports jerseys, but anything else, make sure you consider Picture Framing STL. You can reach Jerry at 314-898-3466. That's 314-898-3466, and his name is Jerry Miller. All right, that's enough of all that. Let's get into the hockey talk. So, the Blues have signed forward, and this name is fun. I just love it. Aleksanteri Kaskimaki to a 3-year, 2-way entry-level contract. Kaskimaki was drafted by the Blues in the 3rd round, number 73 overall of the 2022 NHL Draft. He is 20 years old. He spent last season with HIFK in Finland's top professional league, the Liga, posting 17 points, 10 goals, and 7 assists in 48 regular season games. He also appeared in 7 games with Finland at the 2024 IIHF World Junior Championship, logging 4 points, 2 goals, and 2 assists. I will admit, I don't know anything about this guy. I'm a bad Blues podcaster. I remember when it was drafted, but if you would have asked me before this what position he played, I would have told you I have no idea. But he is a center. Again, he is 20 years old, and since I can't provide you much commentary on this player, I did a little research, and from our friends over at Dobber Prospects, they say he is a gifted offensive center with strong skating and stick handling. He needs to improve his defensive game and on-puck habits, but could be a top 6 producer at the NHL level. So, only 17 points in 48 regular season games, but keep in mind, Liga is men. It is full-grown professional men, and he was, 19 to 20 playing for that. So I would, again, not worry too much about the numbers worry about what the draft experts, what the scouts are saying about this guy. And it looks like he's got a pretty good career trajectory. So we'll see if we see Kaskimaki make the jump to the NHL anytime soon. It sounds like he's probably a little ways off, but could be a guy that could contribute in 2 to 3 years when this team is hopefully back up on a pretty good rise. So we'll see if he is a part of that. Well, let's get into it. Again, Coach Jeremy from HowToHockey will be up right after this break from our sponsors. Don't go anywhere. Don't touch that dial. Don't let your kid change the channel. Man, these are all old references, right? Anyway, all right. Here's our commercials.
We'll return after these messages.
As a hockey player, Mike Burgoyne knows a thing or two about making the perfect play. And when it comes to real estate, he's always ready to score the winning goal for his clients. If you're a first responder, a veteran, a doctor, a nurse, a teacher, or a Let's Go Blues radio listener looking to score the home of your dreams, you'll receive special rates with Mike. Go ahead, shoot some questions his way, and he'll have the answer quicker than Curtis Joseph on a breakaway.
Curtis Joseph got the paddle down!
Any barriers? Mike will mow them down like Chris Pronger in front of the net. He'll score you your dream home or sell your existing home faster than a Brett Hall one-timer.
Flip past the Hall, he shoots, he scores!
See Burgoyne's real estate prowess in action today by emailing him at mike@strikewithmike.com or by calling 314-753-4060. That email again is mike@strikewithmike.com, and that phone number is 314-753-4060. Getting Mike Burgoyne on your team will be the boost your power play needs.
Well, honey, I just priced the power washing for the house, and I think we should just move and condemn this place. It'll be cheaper.
Did you try Wolf Power Washing?
Who?
Oh, I just saw this guy win the Stanley Ponder Cup Memorial Tournament and thought he was attractive, so I looked him up on social media, and it turns out he's the owner and proprietor of Wolf Power Washing. He claims he has the best prices in town.
But does he use non-flammable, non-toxic chemicals that are safe for Wolfie and our son, little Magnus?
Yes, he ensures there'll be no residue left behind, and he doesn't use any volatile vapors.
Well, this fella sounds like a dream. I just wish I knew how to contact him.
Oh, I know how. You can reach him at 314-420-5434.
314-420-5434, and his name is Joe Wolf of Wolf Power Washing?
That's right.
But how did you know his number so quickly?
I'll never tell.
Wait, what?
That's Wolf Power Washing at 314-420-5434. And make sure to tell him Let's Go Blues Radio sent you.
And now, back to Let's Go Blues Radio, the longest running St. Louis Blues podcast with Price, Ponder, and Day.
And we are back from break, and I am lucky to be joined by Coach Jeremy Rupke of HowToHockey and HowToHockey.com. He's a virtual coach, but also does a lot with his videos for hockey. Coach Jeremy, thank you very much for being on, and I want to go ahead and get started by asking you, what was your motivation to do this? And for those that don't know, HowToHockey, it's exactly what it sounds like. There's a lot of, skating drills, shooting drills, anything a coach might do, but put online. And then you also have like a product review side. And I've seen some of your shorts that are pretty funny. But when you were first starting out, what was the motivation behind doing basically coaching online?
Yeah, really simple. There just wasn't a good coaching website. There wasn't a really good, easy spot for someone to learn how to play hockey. When I was a kid, I basically self-taught myself a lot of skills, and there was a lot of stuff that it would have helped if I knew it a lot earlier. And I'm like, man, there's got to be a website. I started coaching, and I was like, oh, there's got to be a good website for learning how to play hockey. And I looked, and there wasn't really. There was this old website. It was all text-based. And I'm like, there's no pictures, there's no videos. I'm like, I can do a better website than this. So that was the beginning of it. I'm like, I just want to make a website where if someone goes into Google, they search how to take a slap shot, how to skate, how to lift the puck, simple stuff like that, how to stick handle. My site will pop up. They can get started and at least have something for the kids that don't have access to a good coach, or even adults. I found it helped a lot. They wanted to play hockey, but it's not like hiring a golf coach or a tennis coach. When you're an adult, it's like, oh, I can't go hire a hockey coach. I just have to be good at hockey. It's you know, it's hard to find a way to improve. So I wanted to just make a spot where anyone could learn to play and improve their skills.
Yeah, so going back, looking, I'll admit I tried to find about when your first videos were posted. I went
Yeah,
back about 14 years.
that's about it.
So it's about 14 years then.
Yeah, I think 2009 might have been the first video I uploaded, like probably winter of 2009.
There you go. Yeah, and I'll
Or
say
or
that
2009 is when I started the website, and 2010 was the first video, somewhere around that. Yeah.
okay. Yeah, I was gonna say on your YouTube, you've got them. I mean, they're all. How many videos do you even have? Do you have any idea?
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, there's a lot. I was doing like one a week for quite a while, and yeah, I started with. So I have two channels. So I have How to Hockey, which is where I put the training videos, and then I don't know, maybe like 7 or 8 years later, I started a second channel. I was like, I'll do more like just entertaining, fun hockey related, kind of like hockey lifestyle type videos there.
Yeah, I like the. I guess that was probably one for the 10,000 shot challenge. Um, that was. I'll admit, I've never tried 10,000. I tried to do 1,000 in a week.
Yep.
Just shooting in my garage, and you don't. It sounds like a lot, and you're like, oh, that's a lot. But when you are doing it, it's like, oh my lord, this is. It's even more than I was expecting.
it I find if you have a decent shot, like it doesn't take too long to rip 100 pucks, maybe a few minutes. If you have like a nice quick snap, if you control it, the kids, it takes them longer because there's so much time in between of them just getting the puck and standing. But I can just go boop, 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 snap those ones off, right?
Yep.
But yeah, 10,000, it's a challenge. And I actually made that app uh, just to give out. I hate ads. I hate the pop-ups, all these time wasting things. Or like you download the app and then there's this extra, like you can't actually use it unless you pay. I was like, I just want to make a cool app for kids to help them improve their shots and track their shots. And yeah, so I came up with the 10,000 shots app, and it's basically just an app to help kids set a goal of taking 10,000 shots over the summer. You're not supposed to do it in a week. All right. Like,
Yes.
yeah. 100 shots a day and stay motivated, see the improvement. And yeah, it's taken off. I have a lot of kids using it and then let me know that their shots like way better because they use the app. So I love doing stuff like that. Just giving back to the community.
That's great. So that app is still running, correct?
Yes. So, well, a while back I started, what was it? There's Dangle Time and there was another app, iSnipe. And then, yeah, this one, 10,000 Shots, is a more recent app. And actually my employee and friend is working on it right now to add a team function so coaches can send it out to all of their players and actually see who's taking shots, and they can kind of compete and know and have a leaderboard amongst that like their team. So kind of just encourage more training and having fun and yeah, like team bonding.
Nice. That's available for iPhones and Android phones, correct?
Yep, it sure is.
Very cool. All right. So I wanted to ask you too. You've said in some videos, but where exactly are you located?
I try not to say my exact address, just for some of the
Why not?
crazy fans out there. But I'm in the Barrie area. I'm north of Toronto.
Okay, very cool. So is your team the Toronto Maple Leafs?
Yes, I do cheer for the Leafs. And hey, thanks for Craig Berube. What are we gonna get there from Craig?
Oh my goodness, you're gonna get, first of all, just a lovable guy.
Okay.
Even before he won the cup, he was beloved here in St. Louis.
Okay.
And great with the media, funny guy. Yeah, as a coach, he gets the most out of players. That was something I really appreciated about him as a coach. Is a guy
Yep.
like Mackenzie McEachern was a huge part of the team when he was playing, and it was
Okay.
because he told him, go out there and forecheck. Go out there with 4 minutes left. We're down by a goal. I'm going to put my fourth line out there to start some pressure.
Yeah.
And that's the beauty of having an Ivan Barbashev in your bottom
Yeah.
six
Barbashev,
was
yeah.
also very nice. But it's just he's a motivator. He gets the most out of his players. And I think a team like Toronto, I think that is a perfect fit for Craig Berube.
I like that because the Leafs do have some studs coming up and some really, kind of unpolished gems. Like Bobby McMahon is just incredible. Noah Gregor has a lot of speed. And then Easton Cowan, he tore it up in the OHL. And then Fraser Minton. So Matt Nyes, another kind of younger guys that could use some of that motivation. And was it Nick Robertson as well. So there's some polishing to do there on the Leafs, and then also get the most out of those top guys that just don't seem to show up in the playoffs.
Yeah, he will. I'll tell you, David Perron was a guy you probably remember. Golden Knights. He didn't even play in a couple of the finals games the first year when they were playing against Washington because he wasn't a playoff performer. Well, guess what? The year the Blues won the Cup under Berube, David Perron was one of the most central players on the team. So
Ryan O'Reilly and Binnington. Oh my gosh, what a story for those two.
Yep. So I have to ask then, since you brought him up, what are your thoughts on Jordan Binnington?
I loved him when he was on the Blues. Or like during that Cup run that they had. I loved that he's a young, sort of unknown guy, and just the quote that everyone says, like, "Do I look nervous?" I was like, "What a stud! What a stud!" And I mean, he took you all the way to the Cup, so it doesn't matter what happened after that. That's exactly the mindset he needed in that moment. And I think that he's an interesting guy, a good goaltender. I don't watch him that closely, but yeah, he seems to be. I mean, he got the job done once, so seems good.
And that's more than you and I can say, right?
Yeah, or any of the Leafs goalies in the last 50 years.
That's true. That's very true. Yeah. So I wanted to ask you about again, these videos you go back 14 years. You've done product reviews. What's your and then like I said, you're starting to do I've seen some shorts that you've done. What's your favorite type of video to do?
My favorite video is something that makes a difference, something that helps. Something that just has an impact on someone. Obviously, they're not the most viral videos, but those are the ones that I feel the best making and putting out there. And when I have a kid tell me, like points out a specific video and says, I couldn't lift the puck until I watched this video, or I made the AAA team because I started watching all your videos and like training. Like, you're the reason why I started playing hockey. That type of feedback from fans are the ones that I like the most. Some of the more viral videos are like, mic'd up Mason and soap hockey. The kids seem to like that one. Hockey pranks. I've done a hockey pranks video that whenever I ask kids, they say they love those ones for the majority. But the ones I like the most are the ones that really help. So like when I'm filling a void that a kid really needs, or an adult really needs in their game, to kind of like help them fall more in love with hockey.
I was going to say that you mentioned Craig Berube, a guy who gets the most out of every player, and to me knows how to utilize players properly. Looking at your beliefs that you have on your website, something I always stressed when I was coaching kids years ago. Everyone is valuable. It was one that you posted. Failure leads to success.
Yes.
So I mean, some of the stuff that I've seen come from you is what coaches should probably be preaching to their kids.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I've thought about kind of making like a coach's, I don't know, starter kit type thing. It's not like I'm a high level coach. I have been coaching for the last like 15 years, but it's always at like the local level. The travel is just too crazy. It's hard to be married and also an elite coach. And I got young kids, so it's like to find that balance of doing something that I love, but also having enough time for the wife and the kids and maintaining a house and all that, right? So I always coach local league or something close by. I try not to do too many like AAA type skates and that type of stuff. But yeah, it's I would love to do sort of like I guess like a starter pack for coaches to like find their philosophy and get them on the right track. And those are a few messages that have really helped me as a coach. Like, failure is good. I tell the kids when they make a mistake, I say, good. A kid is trying a drill and he falls over, blows a tire, wipes out. I start smacking my stick on the ice. I'm like, yes, yes, more of that. Let's go. Because I would way rather see that than the kids that aren't going hard. They're not trying their hardest. They're just kind of going through to try not to make a mistake. No, show me the mistakes. The mistakes should be made in practice so they don't happen in the games, right? I want you to make every mistake in practice, and then we'll overcome those mistakes and turn them into successes, and then in the game they're going to perform, right? So yeah, there's a few of my philosophies there. I have like a full list, but yeah, they're definitely right there in the heart. I preach them all the time when I'm on the ice.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Again, like when I was a coach, that was something that I stressed to the newer players. We had one kid who was just like a superstar and literally had a kid come up to me and say, "Why can't I do what he does?" And I'm
Mhm.
like, "You don't need to do what he does. You just need to find your game, find your
Yeah,
niche, and then
yeah,
we will utilize that."
yeah.
And so, yeah, try
That
anything, and then all of a sudden, maybe you find out what type of player you are.
Yeah, I've used that message to bring the team together because the kids look at the guys that are getting, a couple goals a game and getting a little extra ice time, and all the kids want to be that guy, right? So, and maybe usually, like, I haven't had this issue, but like, I know once you get a little bit older, more elite hockey, the kids that are better sometimes have a bit of a higher view of themselves and think that certain kids don't deserve to be on the team, right? And
Mm.
that causes a bit of chaos or conflict on the team. I've always, said that message. Everyone on the team belongs here. Everyone is important. We all have a role. And just like you said, find what you can do. How can you contribute to this team? Right. And a good defenseman might feel not valued if you're only putting all the emphasis on goal scoring. But
Mm.
I'm going to celebrate every time that guy has a good stick and takes the puck off of someone or makes a really good first pass, right? Or just clears the puck out of the zone or takes an extra second to find that nice read and makes a good area pass. There's those little things like that. Kid comes to the bench. I'm like, yes, I want to see more of that. That's perfect. We need that. And then I'll point out, when you made that play back there, and what happened? We got the puck off the ice, we got in their zone, and then we got 3 shots on net. That wouldn't have happened if you didn't make that one smart play, the shoulder check, right, to make the right decision. So I make sure the kids that aren't scoring goals, they know that they're doing something that's important. But I also say it to the whole team. Everyone here has a job. Some of you guys are scoring goals. Some of you guys are making good passes. Some of you guys are just good defensive. Some of you guys are checking and stopping the other team from scoring. Some of you guys are battling in front of the net. Like, everyone is doing something out here. Find what you can contribute to the team, and it'll make us all better.
So you might have just answered my next question, but
Okay.
what is something that you stress to maybe new players that are just taking the ice for the first couple times and working with you?
Yeah, new players, I say you got to put in the extra work at home. You got to catch up. Stick handling and shooting are two things you can do at home that is going to help you so much, because anything that other than sitting on the couch, anything that's close to hockey is better than doing nothing, right? So, put the video games away, uh, turn off the Netflix. You don't need to, just don't charge your iPad, right? Put that on the bookshelf. It's stick handling, shooting at home. Challenge yourself, and you're going to get a lot better. And then if you can get on the ice for like public skating or something like that, that helps a lot as well. Cheap ice time, and just find something that challenges you. So if you're a newer player, you got to play a little bit of catch up, put in a lot of extra work, and it won't take long, and you'll catch up. And the nice thing is, what you do off the ice, like the stick handling and shooting, when you get onto the ice next practice, it's going to make the practice more effective because you've kind of eliminated some obstacles, you know, while you're practicing every day. And I've had this actually, my last season, there was a kid and I asked him to shoot some pucks at home, right? And the next game, he had a pretty good shot. I was like, "You've been practicing at home, haven't you?" "Yep." I was like, "That was worth it, wasn't it? That shot you took almost went in because you put in that work." I was like, "Keep on working a shot." The next game he came back, it was a week later, scored a goal. I was like, "See, see," and I'm grabbing by the shoulders like, "It worked, it worked. Keep on shooting." And in our championship game, he scored a hat trick, and we won 5-3. And
Wow.
if he didn't put in that work, there's no way he would have. He was like more of a third line player at the beginning of the season, and he was like the star of the championship game. So
Those are
Yeah.
those are the types of stories you love to hear in hockey. You know, you think
Yeah.
of the big time playoff performances that you see. I think of like a JG Pajot, a guy who nobody
Mm,
knew and then came in for Ottawa and scored like every goal for them in the playoffs, you know. So
yeah.
and that's the kind of thing I like to would always stress to kids too when I would coach is it's like, look, anyone can have success if they put the work in.
Yeah.
And so, you know, when you see a guy like that, you know, just a hardworking guy, I think even like a Bernie Nichols, a guy who put
Yeah.
up 100 points in an NHL season, but really came into the league and was at best a second line center. So really, it just goes to show that if you put the work in, and the old adage is true, practice makes perfect, that
Hmm.
all of a sudden you can become a great hockey player.
Yes. Well, so my philosophy is that you gotta like find what you can do. There's a lot of potential inside of you, but it's up to you to kind of get that out, right? Think of it like a stone, right? You could turn that stone into anything if you carve it the right way, but you got to put in the work to find out what's in there and
Yep.
reveal the greatness within, right? So if you're
Yep.
not working on yourself, you're not finding your potential. You're not going to reach your potential. And I do believe that some people have more potential or higher potential because everybody would love to put up McDavid numbers, but there's only one Connor McDavid, right? I'm sure, you know, Marner wants to put up 150 in a season. He probably works his butt off, and there's probably a lot of fourth line guys that want to put up 150 in a season. They're working their butt off too.
Yep.
But you'll never find out what you can do if you never put in the work and challenge yourself and have the dedication to try. So it's better to try and find out than never
Mhm.
know it all.
So you've been around hockey forever, I'm
Yeah.
guessing, like many of our listeners. Um, what is a skill that and maybe it's a specific move, maybe it's something just in hockey that you even with all your knowledge and all the time that you spent on the ice, what's a skill that you just cannot figure out how to do? Is there anything that comes to mind?
I feel if I put enough like time into it, then I can figure them out. I mean, the Datsuki and Deke is one
Yes.
where I can kind of do it, but I'm not pulling it off at the speed and as effectively and as smoothly and cleanly as Datsuk does it. You know, like I messed around with it. I'm like, oh, this is neat, and I'm kind of got there, and I would love to put in the work to be able to pull off these really silky moves. But I also then realized I've got, 3 kids at home and a wife that is complaining that, the laundry's piling up and that the grass needs to be cut and that the garage is a mess. So I'm like, all right, like I can't be out there for hours in the backyard rink working on my sweet dangles anymore. Um, but yeah, maybe that one, the Datsuki one. I got close, but I haven't really pulled it off. But I feel with enough dedication, you can kind of figure it all out, or get close at least. You get close.
Yep. Yep. I agree. Yeah, and that's the Datsuki and I you're right. I think if I put in the work, I could learn it. Like, I actually made myself learn to do a proper spinorama. And so I've been able to
Nice.
do that on the rink. And it's funny though, because I play beer league and
Yep.
I pulled it off in a game and everybody's on the bench, like, oh my God, like pat me on the helmet. That was awesome.
That's
And
great.
I'm like, yeah, but it probably looked like a slow motion Savardi and Deke, right? And they're like, well, yeah, this is beer league. It's all in
Yeah.
slow motion.
Well, that's exactly it. So the moves that the pros do, you just have to do like a wish.com version of them to work in a men's league.
Yep.
And in your mind, you just pulled off like a Malkin, cut center, spin off, and then backhand top corner. Or like, Patrick Kane has that move as well, where he cuts center, shields the puck, spins off, and boom, backhand. In your
Yep.
mind, that's what you just did. But if any cameras were rolling, it didn't look like how Kane
No,
did it. But
no,
if it
no.
goes in, it doesn't matter.
We have something here called Live Barn that just runs all the time and
Uh
in all the
yeah.
rinks. And yeah, and so I'll see some of the feedback. I'm like, oh man, I want to see that goal I scored. That was sick, top corner. And then I
Yeah.
watch it. I'm like, that barely went under the goalie's glove. Why did I think that was top corner? That wasn't nearly as cool.
And why is it playing in slow motion? Eh? Why do they always have this in slow motion?
Yeah, man, I really don't pick up my feet when I skate. What is going
Yeah.
on?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what? And actually, I was going to tell you that one of the videos that actually, I want to say introduced me to your videos, but it was actually I hit up. I was like, oh yeah, How to Hockey. I remember those guys. Um, One that I did watch. For some reason, I got a new stick, and my
Mhm.
backhand, I could not lift it at
Yeah.
all. So I just typed in how to take a backhand, and
Sweet.
your video popped up about 10 months ago, and it was why your backhand sucks.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
So I just wanted to ask you, just for those listening, to give them a little peek into the type of videos you post. Uh, what is what is the key to a good backhand shot?
I would say the key to the backhand and also pretty much any shot is just having it's hard to pick one, but I'd say just a nice snap, a nice quick like activation. If you just kind of slowly go through the process, you can get something that looks like a backhand, but what you really need to do is have the right timing and explosiveness at the right moment to really send it at that last second. So it's kind of like you prep it and then boom, have that nice snap right at the end. And that's what's really going to make it look nice. And it's going to add
Yeah.
a little extra power. So, but it all comes like you can start slow, find the right motions, find the right movements, find the right release point, get the hand placement on the stick the right way, where the puck should be lined up with your stance, all that. Kind of work your way through that. But when you really want to go from like an okay shot to like a nice shot, that's when you can add that nice snap, and it's just like releasing it at the right moment and really quickly, not just it's not a fluid motion. It's like load and explode is what you're
Yeah.
looking for. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. Now my next men's league game, I'm going to score 3 backhand goals. So I appreciate that.
Beauty. And one extra tip is to kind of get the legs in there, kind of get the body in there.
Oh
If
yeah.
you look at some Johan Franzen had a good backhander. I think Zetterberg had a good one. This is I'm referencing those guys because when I was really studying the backhand to know what are these guys. Oh, Crosby, of course, right?
Mm.
What are these guys doing that's making their backhand so great? And they stay nice and low, like good knee bend, and they almost drive with their legs into it too. Like they put their whole body into that final release. So if you want to get a little extra zip and power into it, it's that nice snap, but also drive with the legs a little bit too.
Yeah. Well, I will give that a shot in my next game. I'll
All right,
report back.
sounds good.
All right. So we like to have fun on our summer edition of Let's Go Blues Radio with our guests, and so I was going to ask you. I have not prepped you for this.
Okay.
Would you be interested in doing a little NHL trivia with
Oh,
involving skills?
okay.
We
Let's
could
try
do,
it.
and it's multiple choice.
Okay.
So I got 10 questions here, and
Okay.
all the questions are regarding the skills competition
Oh
from
boy.
past years
Okay.
and who the winner was
Oh,
each
that's
year.
interesting.
Yeah. So
All
so
right.
we'll roll through this, and like I said, it's multiple choice.
Yeah.
Let me just gauge your comfort level. Out of 10 questions, how many think you're going to get?
To be honest, I want to be maybe like 5.
Yep. All right.
And
I've
that's
got
because it's
confidence.
multiple choice. That's because it's multiple choice because I am not like a stat nerd. I'll watch. I might have seen some of these skills comps and then just I forget. Like
Yep.
you know what I mean? Like it just I don't retain it like I used to.
Yeah.
When I was younger, I would be obsessed with like the stats and who won and all that. But like now I don't even know if someone's a lefty or a righty half the time.
Yeah, it's funny because same thing. I'm like, man, that guy's a lefty, right? He plays left wing. No, wait, he's a righty. Like,
Yeah.
I should know this. I'm sitting here talking about hockey.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm
but no,
and I think it's back to the kids thing. I'm trying to help my kid with his next spelling tests, and
right.
we don't have the room up in the head for the players who won the skills comps and all that. But I'll do my best.
Yeah, yeah. And again, these are best of the best. I mean, any of these guys could win any of these. So
Yeah,
if you go over, I will not fault you because I
yeah.
can't. When I was looking these up, I was like, I don't remember that guy winning this. So here we go. We'll start. We're gonna go most recent, and we're gonna go all the way back to I believe 1994. So 10
Ooh,
questions.
okay.
2024 fastest skater. Was it William Nylander, Quinn Hughes, Connor McDavid, Cale Makar, or Matthew Barzal?
You know what's funny is that I was at this game and I don't have. It was McDavid.
It was Connor McDavid, 13.408 seconds. There you go. You're on the board.
And it's so funny because I was there, but I still had some doubt because I'm like, wait, McDavid didn't win it for a couple of years, and I'm thinking he was beat by Dylan Larkin, and I'm like, yeah, who did win it? Yeah, it was McDavid, and he also won the stick handling competition, which was more like a skating competition because there was a lot of backwards crossovers involved in a stick handling competition. But yeah, McDavid blew that one out of the water.
And that kind of skating is just, when you see it at that level and they're actually competing, unlike Nikita Kucherov, it was like, whoa, like that's impressive.
Kucherov was the highlight of the skills comp for sure, because that was a sight to see live.
Yes, it was. All right. 2020 NHL save streaks. This was for the goalies. How many saves they can make in a row. Was it David Riddick, Tristan Jarry, Jordan Binnington, Andre Vasilevsky, Frederick Anderson, Jacob Markstrom, Braden Holtby, or Connor Hellebuck?
Oh boy, what a list.
Yeah.
I want to say Binnington because it's a Blues podcast, but I also feel maybe Holtby. Just give me Binnington.
You are 2 for 2, sir. Jordan Binnington faced the Pacific Division. Longest save streak was 10. So, but apparently there was some controversy with that. I don't know if you remember that. I think that he actually let a goal in, but they didn't, for whatever reason, they didn't see it. So, yeah, I remember when he won, I was like, I think he let a goal in, but.
So we're putting an asterisk there?
Yeah, there's an asterisk with that one. 2018 NHL accuracy shooting was it? And these are timed now, so there weren't.
Yeah, I want to say Draisaitl, but I don't know for sure. Let me hear
the list. So the options are Brian Boyle, Blake Wheeler, James Neal, Brock Besser, Brad Marchand, Anze Kopitar, Sidney Crosby, or Steven Stamkos.
Oh, jeez.
That's a tough one.
I feel, I don't know which one it was, but I remember watching one where Stamkos was so close and then he just kept on missing the last one, and then he ended up taking a slap shot and like in frustration. Give me the list again.
It was this one.
It might have been that one. I think it was like 3 for 4. Give me the list again.
It's Brian Boyle, Blake Wheeler, James Neal, Brock Besser, Brad Marchand, Anze Kopitar, Sidney Crosby, or Steven Stamkos.
So Hayden just walked in and he whispered Kopitar into my ear. I don't know if I should trust him. I kind of want to say Crosby, but I can't remember any of those guys specifically winning it. Give me Crosby.
All right. Unfortunately, that is your first loss. Brock Besser was the winner. Yep. 11.136 seconds. So you are now 2 for 3. All right, 2015 NHL hardest shot. Was it Alex Ovechkin, Brent Seabrook, Brent Burns, Aaron Ekblad, Shea Weber, Steven Stamkos, Justin Falk, or Dustin Byfuglien?
It's definitely either Weber or Ovi, and I don't think it's Ovi because I think the only time Ovi won it was when Weber or Chara were not competing. So give me Shea Weber.
You are correct. 101.8. I'm sorry. 108.5, actually. I think that was
108?
108. Yeah, I want to say that was the record.
That's got to be. I thought Chara had but maybe Chara bested him a little bit. I know it was always Weber or Chara who won the hardest shot.
Yep.
No one held a candle to those guys for
they could fire it. Unbelievable. Yeah. All right, 2007 puck control. I don't remember the schematics of this, but I guess it was all one-on-one.
You know what's crazy? Yeah, 2007. So that's 7 years ago. I feel like Datsuk was in his prime back then. Let's hear the list.
He was not in this competition, so he might have been hurt. I'm not sure.
Right. Or maybe it was maybe Datsuk was retired then, and I'm just old.
2007. No, he would have been playing.
I feel he was, but maybe
I'm gonna have to look up why he wasn't in the All-Star game. So 2007 puck control: Rick Nash, Daniel Briere, Brian Rolston, Thomas Caberlet, Jay Bouwmeester, Martin St. Louis, Lubomir Visnovsky, or Teemu Selanne?
Solani was in there, eh? Oh,
Mm-hmm.
victory lap. All right. It definitely wasn't Caberlet that won. I can tell you that much for sure. Give me the list
You
again.
saw him up close and personal.
Let's hear the list again.
Rick Nash, Daniel Briere, Brian Rolston, Thomas Caberlet, Jay Bomeister, Martin St. Louis, Lubomir Visnovsky, or Teemu Selanne?
I'm going to say St. Louis.
It was Rick Nash,
Oh,
actually.
he was my other. So Rick Nash was on the top. I was like, I was there the whole time with Rick Nash, but I was like, St. Louis is quick.
Mhm.
A small
Great
guy.
hands.
Maybe he pulled it off.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Dang.
Oh, well. So you are, well, I already forgot where you're at. I think you're at 3.
I think I got 3. I don't
Yep.
know.
All right. 2003 NHL hardest shot. Jeremy Roenick, Jerome McGinley, Marian Gaborik, Sandis Ozolinsh, Ray Whitney, or Al McInnes?
You got to say Al McInnes because he won it all the time. Yeah, let's go Al McInnes.
Al McInnes is correct. Surprisingly, in this one, did not hit 100 miles per hour. 98.9. Still
Nice.
hard.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And that was with the wooden stick. Eh?
Yeah. Yeah. That, and I when I was looking this up, I actually read a story where Jeremy Roenick was like, that dude is still using a wood stick and he beat me in hardest shot.
That's crazy. I also, I don't know if it was that skills comp, but I have a clip from Roenick going, I think 4 for 4 in the accuracy competition. And I forget who the announcer is, the play-by-play. And he's like, whoa, kids, never shoot like that. You get no power. Right. And then who's the dude that took off, that went in the crowd and fought someone and then took their shoe and hit them with it?
Oh, Milbury, right?
Milbury, yeah, Mike Milbury. I think he's the color commentary on there.
Well,
And
that's not surprising.
And the guy's like, "What do you mean? He's a 50-goal scorer." And then I'm not 100%. I think it's Mike Milbury. He's like, "Mike Milbury Hockey School, 15 years. I know what I'm talking about." I thought it was just hilarious. Like he's basically, so Roenick was shooting off of his inside leg, that nice little snapshot. And when I was a kid, and obviously when Mike was a kid, no one taught that. They would always teach step to the outside leg, full sweep, heel to toe, follow through, point where you want the puck to go. It was the only shot ever taught, is the wrist shot. You're not allowed to shoot off the inside leg. Coach, like some coach would say, don't shoot like this. And I looked through Gretzky, Lemieux, like all the best scorers would have that quick snap off that inside leg, but I never saw it taught anywhere. I'm like, okay, I'm going to teach this. I threw that up on YouTube. And I think the video was called like "Never Shoot Like This." And I rolled that clip of Roenick going, I think 4 for 4 on the accuracy, and then some old coach, never shoot like that. Don't shoot that way. This guy's in the NHL. He doesn't know what he's talking about. He's winning skills competitions and scoring 50 goals, but don't do it.
I had a kid that used to, so he takes a slap shot, and when his leg rises, it's his inside leg that rises. He's shooting off his back leg. And I'm like, that is so unorthodox, but he hits the net every time, and it's a beauty shot. And I'm like, keep doing it. Like, don't ever coach that to anyone else when you get older. But I'm like, you somehow have made that work, so keep doing it.
What I usually do is, like, so I will ask kids to shoot only one way and then also only another way. When they try to switch it up in the drill, if we're not practicing that right now, that is a shot, but it's a different shot. I want you to know how to do it this way, and we can practice what you're doing later. Like, try to get the most out of every type of shot, because to be a good goal scorer, you got to have a hard and accurate shot in any situation.
Yep.
No matter what, right? There's lots of ways to put the puck in the net. So
that's true.
All right, next question.
All right. 2001 goaltenders competition. This was the combined score from the rapid fire and the breakaway. So we've got Martin Brodeur, Roman Cechmanek, Evgeny Nabokov, Sean Burke, Dominic Hasek, or Patrick Waugh.
Oh, what a list. I feel Brodeur and Waugh were kind of like a little later. Hasek was an absolute stud in 2001. Trying to think how many years ago that was. I know Nabokov, he had a ridiculous run with the Sharks there. So I kind of want to say him because he seems more prime, but I'll take Hasek because like prime Hasek was just crazy.
You should have stuck with your original guess. It was actually a tie between Nabokov and Burke. They only gave up 2 goals out of like 20 shots. which is
I really wanted to say Nabokov. That's all right. Oh,
that's all right. You were close.
Yep.
All right, we've got what? 3 more. 1999 goalie goal was a competition they did.
Oh, that's fun.
Yep. And so they had to shoot it. I believe they had barriers at center ice, and they had to shoot it over the barriers and into the opposing net. So it was Arturs Urbe, Dominic Hasek, Nikolai Habibulin, Ron Tugnut, Martin Brodeur, and Ed Belfour. And I'll give you kind of a hint. The reason this isn't around, or they took it out after this year, there's only one person that scored out of all those guys.
Were they just lobbing it from their net into the other net?
Yep.
And trying to put it in? All right.
Yep.
I think of all those goalies, Brodeur has the most career goalie goals. So I'll just take Brodeur.
It was Dominic Hasek. He was
Shoot.
the only one to score in that entire competition. I think they all had 3 shots too.
Wow,
Well,
that's pretty.
I feel like
impressive.
nowadays there's plenty of goalies that could do it. We'd see a ton of goals because stick handling's become so much more important with goaltenders.
Yeah. I mean, I got to witness a goalie goal live, which was pretty impressive. It was an
That's
OHL game.
incredible. Who was
OHL
it?
game for the Barrie Colts, and we were right behind the net, and he was looking to pass it up the ice to Brant Clark for a hat trick, empty net, and then he just looks him off and just sends it himself. And he buried it, and then it was so funny because Brant Clark just turns around and skates like full tilt. The whole team just jumped him, and like they were happier that he got a goalie goal than anyway. Like it was like practically cleared the bench there. It was great.
Oh, dude, we lose it when our goalie gets an assist. So I can only imagine what it's like when a goalie scores.
Yeah.
All right, 2 more questions. 1996, hardest shot. Ray Bourque, Jaromir Jagr, Teemu Selanne, Brett Hull, Cam Neely, or Dave Manson?
It's gotta be Bourque or Neely. Let's go Bourque.
This one shocked me. Dave Manson with the hardest shot.
Right.
98 miles per hour. I don't think anybody except maybe Dave Manson would have gotten that one correct.
Yeah. That's.
And then we got one more. 1994 fastest skater. Teemu Selanne, Jeremy Roenick, Mark Recchi, Sergei Fedorov, Brian Bradley, or Alexander McGillney?
Fedorov?
Fedorov is correct.
Yeah.
He did it in 13.525 seconds. You got 5, which is what you said you would get. So that's pretty good.
And I feel good about that 5. You know, it was a tough list, and I feel like I got close on a few too. That makes me feel a little better.
Oh yeah, and the question isn't who's the best player out of all of these. It's literally a memory game of can you remember when this happened? Because any of those guys could win.
Yeah, well, except for Caberlet, best hands.
Yes, of course, not Caberlet. Coach Jeremy, this has been awesome. I really appreciate you coming on. I know you've got a very busy schedule with all the hockey videos and the wife and the 10,000 puck marks you got to clean up in your garage. So I want to give you a moment, though, to allow you to tell our listeners where they can find your content online, how they can interact with you on social media, anything you want to plug, take her away.
All right. If you're looking for training videos, I have the How to Hockey channel. We got videos going back the last 15 years. You can take your fill and practice every day. If you're looking for the more entertaining videos and just fun, more like viral type stuff, Coach Jeremy is the YouTube channel. Got over 1 million subscribers over there, so might as well make it 1,000,001. You know, over subscribe. TikTok, Instagram. I'm also there, How to Hockey or Coach Jeremy. And if you're looking for detailed training courses to go through, you want a little more than just like kind of randomly finding YouTube videos. I did put a nice collection of step-by-step training videos. So you start at like the basics, and you have the 101, the 201, the 301. So like shooting, skating, stick handling, easy to follow courses. It's called The Pond. So thepond.howtohockey.com. It's a membership site, so you got to pay. But, you know, it helps me keep the lights on here and, you know, feed the fam. So appreciate all the support there. And it is set up to be kind of like a really easy, like motivational, step-by-step learning platform for new hockey players. So if you kind of want the fastest way to pump up your skills, then sign up over there. And if you just want a little help, go over to the How to Hockey channel. I think that pretty much covers everything.
Cool. And I'll add, one of your latest I saw on YouTube Shorts was your biggest hits of the playoffs, and you recreated the hits that we've seen. And the Brad Marchand one had me in stitches, man. I was laughing so hard at that.
Yeah, it's I try to come up, like, so for the YouTube Shorts, Instagram, TikTok, like those types of videos, I just try to think of something like kind of funny, like, something clever, something entertaining for 30 seconds, right? Over the summer, I'm going to be doing some more like training series and more training videos. I got the sport court all set up in the back, so I got lots of stuff there. Oh, and also the 10,000 Shots app, definitely download that. If you're working on your shot, or you got some kids that you want to motivate to take more shots, it's a fun way to track your shots there.
Very cool. Well, Coach Jeremy, again, this has been a lot of fun. I really appreciate you coming on, and best of luck with the hockey content going forward.
Thank you. Oh, also, if you're into podcasts, we do have a podcast called the Puck Daddy Podcast. So
there you go.
Yep, slide over there, give us a listen. We have a new episode every week. We welcome all of the Jeff Ponder fans over in the Puck Daddy podcast as well.
Yep, all three of them. Me, my mom, my wife.
Perfect.
Awesome, man. Thanks a lot. I really appreciate it. So I again want to thank Jeremy Rupke of HowToHockey.com for coming on. That was a lot of fun, especially that trivia game. It was difficult. When I was looking through them, I think I even told Jeremy, trying to come up with all the answers for those, I'm like, there's no way. I might get 3 here. So he probably would have beat me with his 4. But yeah, that was a tough one. But I hope you all enjoyed it, and hope you all played along too and got better scores than Jeremy and I did. So next week, right now, again, like last week, we don't have anything on the slate yet. I'm working on a couple different things, but we will have a show next week nonetheless. Just stay tuned to us on social media, and we will announce what the next show will be. But also wanted to add one more thing. I mentioned at the top of the show that I didn't know, I couldn't remember would be the match it changed their name to. They've done it in the last year. They are now NMDP, the National Marrow Donor Program, because that is so much easier to remember, let me tell you. Basically, on their website, it says our name has changed, but our mission has not. We save lives through cell therapy. So, yes, marrow transplants is their game. If you haven't signed up to the registry, please go over to, actually, you can still go over to bethematch.org, and that'll take you to the right site. So for anyone who's interested, please, you could save lives and have a lasting impact on this world. So we had a gentleman who actually, I think he was in Italy, donate his marrow to my father and almost saved his life. So this is a very important program to us. So if you've not signed up for the registry, it's very simple. I think all they do is they swab the inside of your nose, your mouth. I think it's your mouth. And you're on the registry after that. So very easy, doesn't cost you a dime, and you may not ever even be contacted. But just to be there, and if you match someone, you could save a life. So having said that, let's wrap her up. Support for Let's Go Blues Radio is brought to you in part by Mike Burgoyne from Real Brokerage Realty. Email him at mike@strikewithmike.com for today for all of your home buying and selling needs. That's mike@strikewithmike.com. And by Wolf Power Washing, St. Louis's premier power washing company with the best rates in town. Call Joe Wolf at 314-420-5434 and get the best looking and greatest power washer in the area. That's 314-420-5434. That will do it for episode 33 of season 13 of the original St. Louis Blues hockey podcast, Let's Go Blues Radio. Thank you so much for tuning in, and have a great week, everyone. For Court Price, Bill Day, and producer Austin, if he's even still around, I'm Jeff Ponder, and I will talk with you next week. This was Let's Go Blues Radio. Until next time, everyone, let's go Blues.
Sit, Ubu, sit. Good dog.
You thought I was going to say son of a bitch, didn't you?